Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you've been staying safe, healthy, and strong. Now, if you've been following me on my Instagram, you know that I have been working on my Toyota Tundra on an overland rig build, and I have been giving you some sneak previews and some sneak peeks as to what is going on. Now, if you're into overlanding, Toyota Tundras, or anything of that sort, please feel free to subscribe because there's plenty of that coming ahead. Now, in this video, I am going to talk about the Stage 9 suspension kit from Icon Vehicle Dynamics for the Toyota Tundra, as well as my initial impressions on it, as well as my reasoning for getting this Stage 9 kit. I've also decided to partner with Wanderlust Overland, located over here in Oregon City. I'm working with Michael here with Wanderlust Overland. We're gonna do an Icon Stage 9 suspension, as you guys already know, and Michael's the man that's gonna put it all together on Shadow. And yeah, I'm very excited for this project, but let me introduce you to Mike and what Wanderlust Overland is all about.
Hey guys, Michael with Wanderlust Overland. We're a full service overland outfitter. We do all kinds of suspensions and bumpers and all that here in Oregon City, just outside of Portland. Come check us out.
Now, the Stage 9 system comes with the following components. For the front, you have the Tundra 2.5 VSR CDCV coilover kit, which is the compression dampening control valve. It also comes with the aluminum billet upper control arm. For the rear, you get the Tundra multi-rate RXT leaf pack with add-a-leaf. It comes with the rear 8-inch U-bolt kit, and it also has the Tundra RXT rear 2.5 VSRR CDCV pair. Now, as with most suspensions, the installation is pretty straightforward. You remove the pre-existing suspension and coilover, as well as the upper control arm that came with the Tundra. But in addition to the typical coilover kit, you do get the reservoir that's located in the front. Now, for the rear, it's the same story. You do remove the suspension that is in the rear, as well as the leaf pack that comes stock with the Toyota TRD Off-Road. You replace that with the RXT rear leaf with the add-a-leaf. For my suspension, because I am including the rooftop tent, the deck drawer system, and racks and additional gear, I did decide to add the add-a-leaf into the leaf pack. Also, the rear suspension does come with reservoir as well, and I will go into that in a little bit. Now, here's a brief overview of the Icon Vehicle Dynamics Stage 9 system. The Stage 9 system includes vehicle-specific tuned 2.5 series coilover shocks equipped with Icon's CDC, which stands for Compression Damping Control Valve. The CDC allows for end-user compression changes to provide optimal ride quality across all types of terrain and vehicle cargo configurations. In addition, the coilovers feature a remote reservoir for added cooling properties. The coil springs are Icon-engineered iBox springs, and the height is adjustable from 1 to 3 inches. So depending on the size of your wheel and tire, you are able to increase the height of the lift to up to 3 inches or decrease it to only 1 inch, depending on your style of driving and the conditions you use your rig for. Also, when used in conjunction with the included Icon upper control arm, the coilovers increase droop travel to the front suspension. For the rear, the added droop travel is also made possible due to the Icon RXT multi-rate leaf spring as well. Now, the Stage 9 system includes a unique 2.5 series CDC remote reservoir shock in the rear as well that features a side mount eyelet that makes it shorter in collapse length, longer at extension, and still fits in the factory mounting location. Although there was some drilling involved to mount that rear reservoir, it was pretty straightforward and self-explanatory, although it did come with directions. Now, the thing that makes the Stage 9 unique is that the front and rears have this CDC valve, which allows you to adjust your compression rate from 1 being the softest to 10 being the hardest. And in the rear, the thing that makes the Stage 9 kit stand out is that the remote reservoir in the rear is 10 inches long. Now going back to the front upper control arm, the delta joint is a heavy-duty, high-angle ball joint that combines the durability of a ball joint with the performance characteristics of a traditional uniball. While the industry standard uniball does a great job of allowing the control arms of a vehicle to articulate with little bind, they do have an inherent weakness that leaves more to be desired when used in daily driven application. What makes the delta joint unique is that it brings the best of both worlds to icon upper control arms with features that make it more robust than a uniball and at the same time capable of greater angularity than a typical ball joint. Now something I couldn't help but notice throughout this installation process was how much beefier these shocks are compared to the stock TRD off-road shocks that come with the Tundra. Also, the rear leaf springs on the Icon Vehicle Dynamics leaf spring kit had many more leaves compared to the TRD off-road leaves that came with the truck. Now for a suspension kit that includes these reservoirs, 2 of which in the rear require drilling holes into the frame, I would recommend that you do either have a ton of experience working with these type of components on your rig or hire someone who is very competent in installing kits of this type. After the installation was complete, when the measurements were taken, the results ended up being a little over 2 inches of lift in the front and a little over 3 inches in the back. Now I do prefer to have that rake in the back because I have a lot of gear in the back as well as planning to add some more gear that's going to weigh it down. As you can see, the build is complete. Freaking came out amazing. I am super happy with it. I am glad I brought it to Wanderlust Overland with Michael, and of course it's not a one-man shop anymore.
It's not.
It's a big shop here, so I definitely want to thank and acknowledge the other guys that were involved in the build.
Come on over, guys.
We got Jake and Austin over here, and as you can see in the video, as you saw in the video, they definitely got really hands-on and involved in the installation as well. So I'm very grateful, and I'll let Mike kind of give you more details on what he thought about the build, and as well as Wanderlust Overland itself.
Yeah, the install went really pretty smooth, about as smooth as any of these go. No issues other than the normal, wear and tear on the body, doing upper control arms and all that kind of stuff. Stuff bolted right up, and obviously the icons are nice and shiny. They're gonna work for a long time. So
yeah. And what other services do you do besides suspensions, or
you
do some builds, right?
Yeah, we do specialize in kind of overall building and planning out your build so that we can do it in stages. Long range fuel tanks is a big one for us, onboard air, dual battery systems, whole electrical build outs, and then armoring up your vehicles. Basically anything that you need to have your rig get you out there longer and stay safer, and get you there and back.
Yeah, and he is located, Wanderlust Overland is located in Oregon City in Oregon, but from what I understand, they even have people shipping from like San Francisco, other parts of the country, because the reputation and quality is freaking amazing here. So definitely give him a check. I'll link his Instagram and the website in the description, as well as you'll see it right here. And you're gonna see Michael again, because I'm gonna be coming back for some more future projects.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
So what makes a Stage 9 is Stage 9. Now, while all the other components of this kit, such as the front coilover system, the delta joint, aluminum billet, upper control arm, the rear leaf pack, and the rear struts are all available in other stages, the Stage 9 has the remote reservoir, which is not piggybacking with the strut, which also includes the compression damping valve to control the dampening between 1 to 10. So if that is something that you would need in your setup, Stage 9 would be something to look into. Now, with that said, I would like to say that this is not the only stage that is required for you to be able to enjoy your time in the outdoors. And that is why Icon Vehicle Dynamics has different stages in their kits, because someone with a Stage 1 system could be just as good and capable in handling the outdoors as well as someone with a Stage 10. Now, the higher stages of course provide the adjustability as well as the components which allow for a more comfortable ride, but it is not absolutely mandatory. The other beauty about the components in the Icon Vehicle Dynamics suspension kits is that you can get a lower stage system and add on different components to bring your suspension kit to the higher stage levels. On my rig, I do have the decked drawer system system in the back, as well as gear that is filled up in the deck system. I also have the bed racks and the rooftop tent. All of that combines to a constant load of between 400 to 500 pounds. That is without the additional gear I load up onto the truck bed, which I plan to in the near future. So with that said, definitely having the more robust leaf spring set as well as the adjustability of the valving is something that I would require in my overland experience and adventures. Do I absolutely need it? Probably not, but it does sure enhance the experience in my journeys outdoors. Now immediately after the install, a few days later, I did take it out on trails and took it to some washboards as well as some ruts in the road. And I must say, driving on stock suspension on various type of vehicles, which ranges from the BMW X5 to the Tacoma TRD off-road to the Tundra TRD off-road, having this upgraded suspension is like night and day. I'm able to go through those roads and it just eats up all of those bumps. And because of the way that the vibration and shock is absorbed through the suspension kit, I am able to actually travel at a faster speed through terrain like that. So that is something I look forward to testing out and pushing to the limits in the near future with all of the other destinations I have in mind. So with that said, I hope you found this video useful and helpful and informative. I would like to thank Icon Vehicle Dynamics. Shout out to Jeremy and Scott over there, as well as Adrian, for definitely providing a ton of help in having the suspension put on my rig. I would also like to thank Michael and the team, Austin and Jake over there at Wanderlust Overland, for doing an excellent job on the installation and for their excellent service. I encourage you guys to follow Wanderlust Overland. I'll link their Instagram and website down in the description box as mentioned earlier, as well as Icon Vehicle Dynamics. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. I always love reading your comments, and I try to answer as many questions as I can. So with that said, thanks for coming along on another journey, and of course, be safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.